I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Fire departments from throughout Sullivan County battled a large fire that destroyed the main building at the former Arrowhead Dude Ranch on Cooley Road in Parksville.
On arrival, Liberty Fire Department found the building to be a working fire. Called additional units, tankers from Swan Lake, White Sulphur, Livingston Manor, and Loch Sheldrick to the scene. We called additional tankers from Youngsville and Neversink, and also have our ladder truck set up at the scene for exterior attack.
The 3-alarm blaze broke out at around 10:30 this morning. It was spotted by a passerby who then called 911. Sullivan County Fire Coordinator Dick Martinkovic said the fire apparently started in the kitchen end of the unoccupied building. There were no injuries. Investigators will now try to determine how it got started. The Dude Ranch had reportedly been closed since 1992. The former patient of a rehabilitation center in the town of Wawarsing, who pleaded guilty to a second-degree murder charge for killing a security guard at the facility and wounding a nurse, got the maximum prison sentence today. Richard Giga will serve a 25 years to life sentence for the fatal stabbing of security guard Lee Wood at the Renaissance Project Rehab Center back in October of 2010. Giga also received a 25-year sentence for stabbing nurse Carrie Reynolds in the chest while attempting to escape in her car. At a sentencing in Ulster County Court, Judge Donald Williams said Giga should serve every day of his life in prison. A 2-year investigation into drug dealing and gang activity in Sullivan County culminated in an overnight raid that rounded up 13 people at residences in Monticello, Liberty, and Fallsburg. More than 100 officers with the Hudson Valley Safe Streets Task Force took part in the sweep that was coordinated by the FBI. The targeted suspects were described as members or associates of the Bloods street gang. All those arrested were to be arraigned today in a White Plains, a federal courtroom. Monticello Police Chief Doug Solomon said the suspects were not nickel and dime dealers and would face lengthy prison sentences if they're convicted. Elsewhere, the skeletal remains of a former Allenville High School student, Shannon Gilbert, were found this morning on Long Island, 18 months after the 24-year-old female escort had last been seen leaving the home of a John. Gilbert's remains were found in a swampy area that had been drained along Gilgo Beach.
Well, she was about a quarter of a mile from where her belongings were found, and I'd say they were found, how far away, Dom?
She traveled at least on foot, at least a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile.
She traveled at least a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile on foot through that muck, mud, brambles, thick area, and it would be very easy to get exhausted and fall down and not be able to move any further. But, you know, this investigation will still continue. The medical examiner will give us the report sometime in the future.
The early search for Gilbert had turned up the remains of 10 victims of a suspected serial killer. Authorities believe Gilbert's death was an accident after drowning in the Suffolk County marshland. In the town of Wallkill, the search was on for the man who stole an undetermined amount of cash from another man outside the Boston Market restaurant on Route 211 in the Wallkill Plaza this morning. Police converged on the scene after getting a report of the theft. The victim was approached from behind and hit in the face with an unknown object during the incident. The suspect, who then ran off with the cash, was wearing blue jeans and a white hoodie. Anyone with information is asked to call Town of Wallkill Police at 692-6757. Police report only minor injuries resulted from the crash of a commuter bus along westbound Route 17 in Orange County last evening. The vehicle veered off the Quickway and into an embankment near the Museum Village exit in the town of Monroe. 5 passengers were aboard. Firemen needed to use a ladder to get the driver out through a bus window. He was taken to Orange Regional Medical Center. And about 45 veterans currently call Orange County's Valley View Healthcare Facility home. And last night they were the guests of honor at an annual Christmas party sponsored by the Goshen American Legion and the Goshen VFW post 1708.
It's part of our tradition. Without these people, we wouldn't have a heck of a lot. And these are the people that have gone forward, sacrificed in many cases their health issues, and to support their own country, and this is what we're all about.
Vaughn Ballback of Pine Bush was there with her World War II veteran dad. She's among those not happy with the county proposal to defund the facility and put it in private hands.
To think of the 400 residents, what must be going through their mind every time they talk about it, wondering where they'll be, if it should close or if it privatizes. You know, they don't know what's going to happen, and at that age, they shouldn't have to worry about where they're going to sleep at night and where they're going to get their meals and who's going to take care of them. And I think it's just a shame that we can fund an airport, we can fund a golf course, but we can't take care of our seniors.
The Orange County Legislature meets tomorrow, and several lawmakers will attempt to override County Executive Ed Diana's veto of the move that would provide county funding for Valley View for all of 2012. Milder temperatures as well as some rain is headed our way. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with the highs in the mid-40s. Thursday will be cloudy with showers, but we could see a 50-degree temperature reading. Pick up tomorrow's Times-Herald Record to read about all the day's developments, and when news breaks, you will find it here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter. Record Newswatch, a section